Before placing your bets, hear me out. I am ranked 10 in the world and have a 63% accuracy rate in predicting boxing cards, so you might want to watch this. And first up, we have Stephenfulton versus Carlos Castro. After losing to Naoya Inoue last year, cool boy Steph decides to once more step into the ring, but this time in a new division against Carlos Castro. Castro is a tall, lanky fighter with a Mexican style, which is the type of fighter that Fulton is familiar with, and the huge factor in this fight is experience. Fulton is more experienced at the elite level compared to Castro, and although he prefers to stick and move, in one of his fights against a Castro-type opponent, Brandon Figueroa proves that he can slug it out. Castro's resume isn't that great, and the only noticeable names that he fought is Brandon Figueroa and Luis Neri, who he both lost to. He lost in a slugfest against Brandon Figueroa, which Fulton won, and struggled to catch Luis Neri, which will most likely happen the same against Fulton. On top of that, he has a 46% knockout rate, so power ain't much of a factor. I got Fulton by decision with no knockdowns.
Next up is Manuel Jaime faces the only man to win a stern contest against the Sun, Rolly Romero. Don't really need to go much into detail about this, but I got Rolly by knockout with maybe one knockdown. Why? Starting off, he's the GOAT. Other than that,
Rolly has a better resume, and Manuel has so many defensive holds that Rolly can exploit. I see Rolly countering and roughhousing Manuel. If not that, then just winning off the front foot, as Manuel has no outboxing skills. After we witness Rolly's second coming, we have Dr. Disrespect versus the VIP of the cookout, Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. This is another easy fight to predict because the experience gap between the two is a lot. Same goes for skills. Macumbi can nowhere near pressure like Canelo or Benavidez, and he isn't slicker than Durrell to make Plant miss. From the limited footage we have, I can say Macumbi has a solid right hand, and that's about it. Not sure if he'll land it because Plant has a great defense. I got Plant by knockout because Macumbi's defense has flaws. Only reason I'm seeing 0 knockdowns is mostly because there isn't much on Macumbi. Now the co-main is the hardest fight to predict in the entire card. The reason why is because it has so many variables. Erislandy Lara is 41 years old but still got skills, and Danny Garcia has a great resume but is in a new weight class, having been inactive since 2022. I can legitimately see how both of them can win. Lara's Cuban style and defense will allow him to make Danny Garcia miss and get countered, and he also has a hard-hitting right hand that Garcia will be open for. Lara also has experience fighting in the weight class compared to Danny. If Lara's cardio and chin is still good despite his age, then he could possibly win by knockout. However, Danny Garcia is no slouch. He possesses a powerful left hook and an underrated right hand, which, as you know, is a southpaw kryptonite. Although the weight might decrease Danny's power, Lara is still 41 years old, and normally by that age his durability should have decreased. Danny was also pretty active against Jose Benavidez, which would help him against Lara, who usually dictates the slow pace because, I can't stress this enough, he's 41 years old. Danny's activity might tire Lara out and win him rounds, with the most likely result being a decision. Really hard fight to predict. Danny has struggled against southpaws and Lara has folded when under pressure. If Danny fought more recently, then I'd have him winning, but based on the fact that he is moving up to the division after not fighting for 2 years, I have to give it to Lara by decision with no knockdown. Now lastly, we have the main event that nobody asked for. There's no question in this, but Canelo is just way better than Berlanga. Berlanga has many holes in his defense and approach that Canelo, who is not only an amazing pressure fighter but also an excellent counterpuncher, would have a field day exploiting. This means Canelo would beat him pressing forward or just letting Berlanga press forward and countering him. Canelo has many options to win this fight. He could feint creating an opening then hurting him, he could also set up a specific shot that hurt him, or he could use his guard manipulation and hurt him. Despite the clear disadvantage, Berlanga has one hope. Yep, he desperately needs a miracle cause his power won't cause an upset against a man who has an unbreakable chin and an impenetrable defense. So safe to say I have Canelo by decision with 2 knockdowns. Why not knockout? Because Canelo doesn't have the same power he has in 168. Now that's that. If you like this video, then you'll probably like the video on top where I talk about the boxing divisions you, as a boxing fan, must watch and why. Or you might enjoy the video below that where I talk about the 4 kings of boxing in 4 different generations. My name is Ike the Giant Killer. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and until next time, peace.